Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Digital Customer Journey podcast. My name is Femi Olajiga, and I'll be your host. This is the podcast trailer. Here with me today is Ivna. She's going to be asking questions. And yeah, let's get this cracking.
Femi, tell us a little bit about the name of the show, Digital Customer Journeys. Where does that come from?
So the name of the show came because the customer journey is fragmented and it cuts across multiple channels, touch points. And I've seen in my experience that sometimes this digital customer journeys is often ignored, and organizations, marketing leaders, and business owners kind of focus on a single channel to the detriment of the full customer journey. So this podcast is aimed to discuss all those touch points, irrespective of channel, tactics, but just looking at the customer journey from when they hear about your brand, all those touch points, all those activities, everything that influences them before they buy, and even after they buy, all those important touch points. Those will be the topics that I'll be covering through this podcast.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What makes you the expert?
So I have a master's degree in marketing. So on the theory sides of marketing, I am well-read and well-educated in marketing. But that is not enough in this modern day of marketing. Theory is all theory. On the practical side, I've been a consultant. I've worked across multiple types of organization, from multinational organizations to financial services, to e-commerce, to lead generation, to startups. So this podcast is just going to be talking about marketing from different perspectives. It's going to be looking at the perspective of someone looking at acquisition, the perspective of analytics, the perspective of user experience, the perspective of content, the perspective of UX, all different perspective, and even all different perspective from a marketing hierarchy perspective. But the goal of this podcast is just to solve a problem that I've noticed. In marketing, you have people that marketing reports into that don't have an understanding of how marketing works. And the people in marketing have not done a very good job in communicating that. And the problems I've seen with marketing budgets being wasted is because the people that are responsible for those budgets that marketing reports into, they think marketing is just all fluff. So this podcast, I'm going to be taking them along, educating them, helping them, and informing them about things they need to pay attention to get the best out of their marketing. And yeah, so they are in a situation where they know that, okay, if I have a problem when it comes to marketing and I need information, I'll go listen to the Digital Customer Journey podcast by Femi Olajiga.
What format will the podcast take?
That's a good question. This is going to be a solo podcast. I will be sharing practical experiences. And in some instances, when I do find someone that shares the same mindset and value that I appreciate in marketing, I will invite them to share their thoughts, opinion. So I'm trying to avoid fluff and I'm trying to avoid repetition, because what I've seen in the podcast space is people go to different podcasts and they just literally say the same thing across the board. It gets boring. So for this podcast, the format is going to be a solo podcast. We'll have guests on the show every now and again, but it's going to be quality over quantity.
So you said it's aimed at non-marketing professionals.
Yes. So I'm targeting the CFO, the chief financial officers. I'm targeting commercial directors, sales directors. I'm targeting entrepreneurs. I'm targeting business owners, founders, e-commerce professionals. Those are the people I'm targeting. I'm also targeting people that work in marketing but don't necessarily have a marketing background. So you have people that just find themselves leading marketing teams or marketing reporting into them. Those people are my target audience for this podcast, and I'm going to be sharing actionable insights, processes, templates that they can use on their own. And this podcast is not going to be subtle sales pitch or those kind of podcasts. It's going to be straight to the point, direct, and you get the value that you've come for. And this podcast is also going to be available on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and across all video and audio podcast platforms. Subscribe to the podcast, follow us on YouTube, follow us on all podcast platforms, and I'll be looking forward to connecting with you as well. Thank you.